Hello and welcome to Cornwall FA's calling off periods explanation presentation. For context, calling off periods have been a trial in some of the divisions across the country for the last season, but in collaboration with IFAB and the FA this season, it has been decided that all levels below the National League system will be trialling calling off periods for this season. As many people will be aware, body cameras have been trialled over the past few years, as well as the captain's only protocol, which is now a mandatory part of the laws of the game this season, and also sin bins, which has been part of football since around 2018-19 season. And calling off periods are an additional tool for referees to use within their armoury to help to improve the game and also improve the matchday environment for everybody around. Calling off periods will be enforced across all grassroots football, which is Step 7 and below in the men's game, so St Piran League and Devon Football League and below, and in the women's game Tier 5 and below, which is the South West Women's Regional Premier League and below, as well as all county cups that involve purely those teams only. It will also be used in youth competitions as it was last season in Cornwall, and new for Devon as well this season. Calling off periods is not optional, and all leagues will be expected to adhere to this throughout the season, as well as all referees. Calling off periods provides an additional tool to our match officials to manage the game at the grassroots level, and they can be applied whenever the referee feels that the game emotions need to settle down. It is for both on and off-field influences, so it can be due to players, managers or spectators, and it can be used at any point during the game. The referee signals that the calling off period begins by crossing their arms over their head and then pointing to the penalty areas, and then the players need to move to their own penalty area. This happens when the ball is out of play. Any player who does not respect the request to go to the penalty area will be asked, and then if they continue to refuse, will be cautioned and sin binned, and the temporary dismissal will begin once play restarts. The only people that do not go to the penalty area are the captains, if that is appropriate at the right age groups, if it's youth football, but also managers and also any other appropriate people such as respect marshals, referee mentors or referee coaches where appropriate. They come into the middle and the referee will explain the reason for the calling off period and the expectation on what needs to be done to ensure that the behaviour does not continue. After the referee has told the captain and the managers what is needed, the managers and captains then have the responsibility to ensure that this behaviour is improved. If it's spectators, managers may need to go over to the spectators to tell them that they need to calm down and to try and make sure that they fix their behaviour to ensure that there is not a further calling off period. All other participants must stay off the field of play except one person who can take drinks or can go and treat injuries at this time. Players can stay on the field after they've had this treatment. Calling off periods have no designated time period, and it can go on for as long as is required for the referee to ensure that the game is cooled down and is not abandoned. But there is only a maximum of 2 calling off periods in each game. That could be 2 in the first half, 2 in the second half, or 1 in each half. If there is the need to think about a third period of time, then the referee is encouraged to think about abandoning the game rather than continuing. All calling off periods are reported to the competitions to ensure that we are able to track its implementation and its impact. There is no disciplinary sanction for calling off periods, and this data will not be collected by county FAs unless it is within their own competitions. Here are some additional frequently asked questions from previous seasons when we've used calling off periods. If people are not confident in using calling off periods, then that is okay, and they can still report the behaviour to the league or county FA for investigation. And as we said before, the age groups that you would use captains, is at any age, but it's more appropriate from 11v11 and above in under 14 football. Also, if it's the coach or the manager causing the tension, then the calling off period can be delayed before the referee speaks to the manager or coach once they are calm, or you could use somebody else from within the team so that they can go and speak to the manager and calm them down. If it's parents or spectators that continue to shout and cause issues, the managers are responsible for going to speak to those spectators or those parents as per your instructions. If it continues or persists again, then there is a final warning, and you can also ask for the home team to remove that spectator if it's one isolated incident. Calling off periods are applied if there's misconduct from spectators, but this can still also be reported if necessary, and referees can also abandon the game straight away if the behaviour is so serious that they need to do that. If the referee calls a calling off period and a team refuse to go to the penalty area, then the referee could consider abandoning the game straight away and then reporting the situation to the county FA and to the league. Referees are encouraged where possible to stop play in a neutral area so that they can remember the restart, but try and stop play where it is a clear stoppage so everybody is clear on what the restart will be. Your watch is stopped during the calling off period, and the time is then added on to the end of the half where needed. If you're unsure as a referee whether you should report the behaviour or not, please still continue to report it, and then the league and the county FA can decide if any action needs to be taken. If you have any further questions, please email them in to luke.wilkes@cornwallfa.com. Thank you for attending this short presentation. To track how many people have been watching it and the impact that this presentation has, please could you now either scan the QR code to record your attendance, or click the link to confirm your attendance so that we're able to see who has watched the presentation and who we may need to target further. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email them in.